Welcome back to part 2 of the technical analysis on chart pattern. The last time we looked at reversal patterns and how to trade them. This time we'll be focusing on continuation patterns. This pattern signals the probability that the preceding trend is going to continue. And likewise, they'll be occurring in the middle of a trend as a consolidation pattern and before continuing off in the direction of the preceding trend. Now, these patterns will be important as tools for a trader to better spot ideal trade setups to maximize their risk to reward. So make sure to watch till the end to learn all the small little tips and tricks that I'm going to share with you guys today. Now, as a quick refresher, these chart patterns that we'll be going through will only be effective only when a trend exists. And also, the larger the pattern, the greater the subsequent move. The larger the pattern, meaning to say that it takes a longer time to form and complete, the more significant it is. And likewise, the larger the volatility of the pattern, the greater the subsequent move in the direction that it is going to break out of. And lastly, volume is also an important factor that some people take into account of. And pattern completion should generally be accompanied with an increase in volume to show that the pattern is valid. So now let us dive right into our first pattern, the symmetrical triangle. Now this is a neutral pattern, and on the usual uptrend that we see over here, prices starts to consolidate. Now when we talk about consolidation, equal highs and equal lows comes into mind, am I right? In this case, the consolidation is making lower high and higher low. So this is something unusual and we have never seen of so far. So with your technical analysis skills, you will then be able to identify two potential trend lines that is converging to form the symmetrical triangle that we see over here. The important parameters of the triangle patterns are the apex, which is the tip of the triangle. The base measures the height of the triangle from the first high to the first low. And then lastly, the width measures the horizontal distance from the apex to the base. Typically, prices would bounce 4 to 6 times in a triangle before breaking out. But what is important here is that this pattern is time sensitive. Ideally, the breakout should occur before the 75% mark of the width. Otherwise, the pattern would be invalidated. Now, once the breakout has occurred, the profit target can be estimated by projecting the base from the point of the breakout. Alternatively, you can draw a parallel trend line and then take profit if the price can reach the upper boundary of the channel above the apex. Likewise, you do not want any potential support to be within your profit target range. If not, the maximum target may not be achievable. Now, of course, a return move is always possible, and prices should bounce off the downtrending trend line that is now acting as a support. In both trade setups, stop loss could be placed below either of the trend lines. So either here or you can place it below here. Now the exact placement of stop loss will be a topic under risk management in future videos. So do keep a lookout for that. How would the volume work out for this pattern? When the prices bounce within the triangle, this is a period of consolidation. And this is true for all continuation pattern, as they are all periods of consolidation. So during consolidation, generally, we would like to see that the volume starts to get lighter as it bounces within the triangle itself. And this is because market participants decrease and await for a confirmation of the trend. And once a breakout has occurred, if the pattern is valid, there should be an increase in volume, and this increase should continue as the trend continues. Likewise, if there is a return move, the correction should be observed with low volume. This symmetrical triangle, if you remember, is a neutral pattern. So naturally, we'll have the bullish and bearish version of this pattern. So we call them the ascending triangle, which is a bullish pattern, or the descending triangle, which is a bearish pattern. Now, I hope that by now you will have grasped the concepts behind this pattern because they are all largely the same. What I'm going to explain to you this time is the psychology behind these patterns. For the ascending triangles, prices are making the same highs but higher lows. And with this, we can once again draw two potential trend lines that forms a right-angled triangle. What does this tell us? It tells us that this line right here is acting as a strong resistance. There are a lot of sellers here and the supply is high. But guess what? Each time before the prices can get back to the previous low, the bulls are already buying and creating demand. So from here, you can guess that the bulls are gaining power. And sooner or later, once the bears at the resistance line are exhausted, meaning to say that there are no more sellers, prices would break out and continue the previous uptrend. So for the descending triangle, the reverse is true. Same low, but lower highs. So the bears are gaining control and the selling pressure is increasing each time a lower high is made. And once there are no more buyers left at the support, prices will then break down and continue from the previous downtrend. So that's the only difference between these two patterns, and every other things that we have discussed before remain the same. So the time sensitivity of this pattern and previously what we have discussed about the volume and the profit target estimation also remains the same for these two patterns. Next up, we have the flag and pennants. Now, have you ever experienced a sharp parabolic or exponential move upwards like this? In this chart, we can see that this is a sharp parabolic move upwards. And I always say that this is a very dangerous phenomenon because prices tend to snap back to the moving averages, which tend to act as a magnet and support for the prices. Now, what if this parabolic move is valid and to be taken seriously? Meaning to say that we will expect the trend to continue going up higher and higher. Now, even so, prices don't move in straight lines. They move in wave-like patterns like this. In the case of strong moves, there is also a need to take a period of rest or consolidation for the moving averages to catch up before continuing. And these periods of rest appears as flags or pennants. For simplicity's sake, I am used to just calling them both the bull flag patterns. Bull because the preceding trend is an uptrend, and flag just because they resemble a flag, don't they? In the case of pennants, this is a flag, and the preceding strong move is acting as the pole of the flag. Now, flags appears as a parallel channel that is running counter trend to the main trend. So if the preceding trend is an uptrend, you can see that this flag pattern is slanting downtrend instead. Meanwhile, the pennants just appear similar to that of a symmetrical triangle that we have seen previously. These patterns are usually very small and occur relatively quickly. And once they break out, the trend is likely going to continue for another leg higher. So just project the distance of the pole from the point of the breakout to reach your profit target. And the opposite of the bull flag patterns are the bear flag patterns. Take note that the flag, which is a period of consolidation, should occur counter trend to the preceding trend. In other words, they should slant against the preceding trend, and in the downtrend, we will have a bear flag pattern that is slanting upwards. So with that, let's revisit the chart over here. Do you see any trading setups now? Previously, we only noticed the large move that appears over here. But now, do you see that this large move is actually made up of two legs? We have a big move here, rest for a while, forming a bull flag pattern before taking off again. Then when the momentum can't keep up, prices falls back sharply to the MA, forms a bear flag this time before continuing another leg lower to find the next moving average support. So as a trader, what could you have done? In this bull flag over here, two things can happen. Number one would be to wait for the dip to continue further down and reach the moving average and wait for a bullish reversal candlestick pattern to signal a bounce before taking a long swing trade upwards, which obviously did not happen here. Another scenario would be to wait for the breakout of this bull flag pattern. To be conservative, I like to place my entry point above the peak of the pole, and then my stop loss below the low of the flag. And then when it comes to this bear flag pattern over here, I won't be taking the swing trade down, or in other words, to short the stock. Why? Because the general trend is an uptrend, and taking a counter trend trade downwards is highly risky. For all you know, this may just be a bounce off the moving average instead. And how do I know it is an uptrend? Very simple. The 50 moving average, which is represented in blue, cross over the 150 moving average, which is in green, and both starts to slope upwards. Find out more from this video, links in the description below. And with that, let us move on to the last pattern of today, which is the wedge pattern. Like the flag pattern, it slants against the preceding trend. In the case of a bullish wedge, we have a preceding uptrend, and so the wedge should appear slanting downwards against the uptrend. And the reverse is true for the bearish wedge. And therefore, a falling wedge is bullish and a rising wedge is bearish. Compared to the flag patterns, wedges are generally bigger patterns, meaning that they take a longer time to form and complete. Besides that, every other concept that we have went through for the other continuation patterns apply to these as well. So, and there you have it. These are the different bullish continuation patterns that we have covered today. Can you identify the individual patterns and name them? And I hope that by laying them out all in front of you, the differences between these patterns in terms of their shape and formation would appear clearer to you. The first one that we have here is the symmetrical triangle, which is generally a neutral pattern with two converging trend lines. Next, we have the ascending triangle, which have a horizontal resistance and an upwards trending trendline support. As for the wedge pattern, basically you can think of it as a symmetrical triangle, but this time slanting downwards instead. So these three are generally larger patterns, and then we have smaller patterns. They are the flag and the pennants, which are usually present in between a huge move as a short period of consolidation or rest. Next up, I'm going to show you how you can effectively scan for a trade setup consisting of these patterns. There are two ways to this. The first method, which we have also gone through in the previous video, is to use the Finviz screener. Under Finviz, go to screener, and likewise, you want to key in the different conditions that you want the screener to filter for. So for me, I'll take average volume of over 200,000, a price of over $5 to avoid penny stocks, and then head on over to technicals. And again, under pattern, you can see that they are all present over here. Wedge, the wedges that we have discussed, ascending triangle, descending triangle, and so on. So just select the one that you would like to filter for, and then a list of stocks will be available for you to go through another round of manual filtering to look for potential stocks that have set up that is ripe for trading. And likewise, if you register for a free account here, then you'll be able to save the criteria of the screens under the drop down box here, so that you don't have to come back and select your criteria all over again each time you do this. So this is through the use of Finviz. The next method of scanning that I'm going to show you guys will be through the scanner that is available built in the Thinkorswim trading platform. So under the platform, head on over to the scan. So under scans, you can key in your respective criteria over here. So firstly, I would want to cross out this criteria, and then I would like to add my own one. So just add filter, go to stock. First things first, we want to avoid penny stocks. So let's go to the close. And minimum, I want $5 and just enter. Next, I'm going to add another filter. This time I'll go over to study and go down to volume and average volume. So I want the average volume that is trading for the past 50 days to be greater than 200,000. All right, with this, we can then add on our continuation patterns criteria. And for that, go over to add filter again. This time, head for pattern. And here you have it. Under pattern, you can see the entire list of patterns that we have went through previously. If you have noticed, Finviz do not provide the flag and pennant patterns, which is available in the Thinkorswim trading platform over here. So just select the one that you like to scan for. In this case, let's keep things simple and just look for the ascending triangle. After you have selected the pattern that you want to screen for, remember to set the time frame to the yearly time frame, maybe 5 years, and look at the daily chart. And then head on over to scan. Now, if you are going to be using these scans pretty often, then what you can do is to head on over to this drop-down menu over here and click on Save Scan Query. And then key in the respective names that you like to call it. So for this, maybe ascending triangle. And then just click on Save. And the next time you want to load this pattern, just head on over to the same drop-down list, load scan query, go to personal, and then you will have your ascending triangle. And then click scan again. So now you have your entire list of stocks. Another shortcut I'm going to share with you guys, what you can do to keep your scanning simpler is to go to this drop-down menu over here and then click Save as Watch List. So maybe I'll key in ascending triangle and save it. So now the entire list of stocks that you have seen just now have been saved to the watch list under ascending triangle 1. Under this tab here, I can just set my watch list to show my ascending triangle scanning that we have done previously. And here you have it. One by one, you can just click on the stock and then look at the chart itself. So do you see any obvious ascending triangle pattern over here? It doesn't appear that clear to me. So these filters are done by AI. So they just follow certain rules and criteria that's preset to them. And sometimes they are not very smart and therefore another round of manual filtering is necessary for you to find out the most ideal pattern that is ideal for trading. So after scanning, sometimes you can see that you have a long list of results, 1000 this time round. And you may want to think of more stringent criteria to tighten up your list so that you don't have to go through so many stocks every day. And also, it is not guaranteed that an ideal setup will appear for you every day. So you just have to put in the hard work and time to go through the list day by day and look for the ideal pattern that is suitable for trading. Alright, with that, I hope you enjoyed today's video on how to spot ideal trading setups using continuation patterns. Do remember to like, subscribe, and share this video out to as many as possible so that more can benefit from growing their wealth in the market. Thank you so much for watching. I see you next time.